Job 18. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite, and said, How long will it be ere ye make an end of words? Mark, and afterwards we will speak. Wherefore are we counted as beasts, and reputed vile in your sight? He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee, and shall the rock be removed out of his place? Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straitened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The gin shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready this side. It shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and shall bring him to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness, and chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not God.
Fill the ranks of his army. These tongues
Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready this side. It shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples for his younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful like out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Shai. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. Now, what I want to get into today, all right, is going into deliver me from the hand of strange children, which is inspired by a precept in the book of Psalms, all right, the 144th chapter. Okay, and as we see, things are transitioning, with the way the devil, is presenting, the government to the people. All right, what we're seeing, is a transition into a technocracy. Okay, and we're going to go into, these NGOs, okay, non-government organizations, all right, that really, operate outside, of the bounds of government, to transition, all right, the world's governments into the NWO. Okay, and this devil, he has a lot going on, and as we follow these different characters, you see certain paths cross, and we're gonna go into some things, because as we as we know that the devil wants to bring in a new world order, where the old world order, all right, is being dismantled, okay, and the new world order, all right, is being set up. Okay, and he's getting ready to merge, this old money system with this new money system, and he's getting ready to present a new form of government. Okay, Trump is playing a character. Okay, this king emperor type, character, this hero. He's a character. Okay, that's distracting the masses. All right, with all these, promises. The Gulf of, I think they changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of USA on Google, and he want to acquire Greenland, and if they don't release the hostages, if Hamas don't release the hostages Saturday by 12 o'clock, it's gonna be all out hell. And he's there, and he's just all over the place. He's able to undo particular things that the left done, and look like this hero, like he's restoring America, but ultimately he's distracting the masses while they roll out, all right, this new style of government, which is going to be unelected officials, okay, the super rich, okay, these technocrats, all right, controlled by the elites, okay. It's going to be a government that controls the AI, and the AI is going to govern the people, okay. So we're seeing this transition. So we go into Trump and certain things that he's doing, but now in the spirit, the spirit just got me on these other movers and shakers in the background that's really all right, calling the shots. Okay, the people that answer to the Trump answer to the people that answer to the people that answer to these people. Okay, so we're focusing more on what they're bringing in. Okay, because I say with Trump, it's more of a song and dance, all right, for the dumbed down American population, to have this false hope while they roll out this NWO, man. Okay, so we're going to start with a few precepts just to lay a foundation. Let's go here to the book of Psalm, chapter 144. Okay, because as we study these things and we understand, the depth, okay, of wickedness, how this devil, just has so many things, going on in the earth. All right, we understand we need a higher power to intervene. Okay, if a nigga is talking about, the black dollar, okay, he's 100 years behind. Okay, because Jake, all right, back in the 1920s, had flourishing economical cities. All right, and we seen what happened with that. Okay, that was in the 1920s. So now we in 2020s, and for niggas still talking about the black dollar and black economics, he's 100 years behind. Okay, for niggas talking about being militant. All right, Gad was the last militant chance that we had, Gad and Reuben. Okay, you had, the Haitians, they had their revolt. Okay, and that was going back into the early 1800s. Okay, so you're talking about being militant, well, you're almost 225 years, all right, behind. You're talking about being militant with this devil. Okay, and the only answer is Yahweh Bashim Shah sending his son Yahweh Shah back to intervene. And just to survive, in these times. And I don't believe we're just going to survive. We're going to thrive. We're going to be tested. We're going to go through uncomforts. But hey, it's going to come a time we're going to thrive in these times, man, because of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. And thus said the scriptures. The scriptures said we will have, abundance and be merry in these times, but it's going to be because of the Lord, man, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. So we fully understand that how a higher power, all right, needs to intervene. Okay, so you go here in Psalms 144:5. This is a petition, okay, for the Lord right, to intervene in the earth. It says, bow, this Psalms 144:5. It says, bow thy heavens, O Lord. Okay, and when you go into the word bow, all right, and it's talking about, okay, the Shemayim. All right, let's get this word bow. Okay. In the Hebrew, it's like it's Natah. All right. Natah in the Hebrew. Okay. And it says to stretch out, to extend, to spread out. Okay. To spread out, to bend, to turn, to incline. Okay. And we know that Yahweh Shai is coming, okay, from the spiritual realm, and he's going to cause the heaven to open up, to stretch out and invade, all right, this realm. Okay. So we're asking the Lord to bow down to heaven. We're asking from that intervention from on high, from the spiritual realm. This is how, bad it's gotten. This is how powerful, the devil has become into the earth, that we need direct intervention, from the spiritual realm. It says, bow thy heavens, O Lord, and come down and touch the mountains. Okay. And they shall smoke. All right. Because, Yahweh Shai is coming back with fire, man, to set these governments, all right, these mountains ablaze. Okay. Cast forth lightnings and scatter them. Shoot out thine arrows and destroy them. Okay. And there's going to be the fire coming from the chariot, those lasers from the chariot, which is going to be all type of fire, man, in all type of fashions, man. Ezra's likened to what he's seen to a tempest, so it's going to be, Yahweh Shai is going to come put on a fire show, man. Okay. And it's going to destroy. All right. He says, scatter them. He's going to break up these governments of the earth. Okay. Verse 7 says, send thine hand from above, Yahweh Shai, rid me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of strange children, man. And these are very strange people that's in power, man. All right. This is a very sadistic, perverted, okay, satanic, all right, evil, wicked, all right, nation that's in power, man. These Edomites, man. And you Jakes think that you on the Trump banner as if you're on the good foot, or you're on the up and up. You don't understand what you're linking yourself to. All right. Trump is a part of a strange people, man. Okay. If you knew how these devils really get down, which these things are coming out, but niggas don't care, man. The majority of you Americans don't care. All right. As long as you can get a 6-pack and watch the game, all right, the masses of people don't care, or whatever your fix is. Okay. And it says, whose mouth speaketh vanity, which is emptiness, and thy right hand is the right hand of falsehood. Yeah, man, because all these plans and agenda that this man has, and this digital age, and hacking humans, all this is vanity, man. Okay, he's not going to be able to pull this off, man. He's going to get so far. So it's an empty plan. All these resources and time and conditioning the people and weakening the masses, all this going to be in vain. It's going to be for naught. Okay, and their right hand, which is supposed to be a position of honor, is the right hand of falsehood, man. And these people that they throw on TV and with these suits, these niggas lying, man. Okay, Trump be lying. Okay, all them niggas be lying. Elon, them niggas be lying. Okay, what you got? Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy. They look at him as some, and he gonna bring health back. No, that nigga lying. All right, everyone you see that get up there with these great ideas for humanity, them niggas lying, man. Okay, so let's go there. And these devils, they're their mindset is to establish a world order that's godless, man. Okay, this is what these devils want to bring with this new world order, a godless society, man, to where there's no higher authority than but them. Okay, so let's uh let's start at two. Psalms 10:2 says, "The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor." Okay, and you see this is a society, where there's a very small percentage of rich and the majority are poor, and the poorest of them all is who? Israel. Okay, and they prance, these few niggas with money. Okay, so-called have money. A lot of them niggas be capping. All right, but they parade, these same few niggas, okay, for decades to make it seem like there's this great inclusion within the American dream. Okay, no, man, Israel is a poor people, spiritually, all right, financially, economically, morally, okay, in this society, man, and then it's done systematically. Okay, it says, "Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined," man. All right, so everything that this devil is doing to pull this new world order off is going to work against him. Okay, when the Lord, all right, opens up in judgment, man. Okay, as he plans to enslave people on a whole nother level, he's going to be enslaved. Okay, as he plans to, depopulate the masses. Well, no, the Lord is going to depopulate. Okay, these weapons that this man has amassed, these nukes, are going to destroy his own infrastructure, man, making the earth to shake. So everything that this man has built up is going to work against him, man. Everything that he intends on doing is going to work against him, man. Okay, it said, "For the wicked boasteth in his heart's desire." And when you see these devils talking about, what they're finna do, and by this year and that year, by this, and this is where we're going next, and we can do this now, and AI is going to be capable of this, and 500 billion to this, and $1 trillion to this, and all these different things. Okay, there's this man boasting in his heart desire, and it says, "He blessed the covetous, whom the Lord abhorred," man. And who are the covetous, man? The wicked elite. Okay, these devils want everything, man. They want your soul. They don't want you to have a thought to yourself, man. Okay, and these are the people that's blessed in this society, the way that this system is set up, whom the Lord abhorred, which avoideth, man. Okay, the Lord not dealing all right with the elite. Okay, he's giving Satan full reign over them. All right, so they can be deceived as if they got it, man. Verse 4 said, "The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, would not seek after the Most High." The Most High is not in all his thoughts, man. Okay? This devil, all right, is planning to establish a new world order that's completely godless. Okay? It won't be no Most High outside of him. Okay? You're going to worship his technology and him. Okay? In his mind, he can run existence through his technology, his digital systems. Okay, his blockchain. Okay, and we're gonna go into these things, man. How these devils really think and operate, man. Okay, so let's go here to Job, and then we'll get into a few videos. There's the book of Job, chapter, I believe it's 20. Might be 21. All right, so you go to Job 21. Okay, and 14. It said, "Therefore they say unto the Most High, Depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways." All right, and these devils are all about operating outside of the righteousness of the scriptures, man. Okay, you seen Trump, not put his hand on the Bible. Okay, because he's all about, and it just shows that these devils are not about, all right, abiding, okay, by the authority of the scriptures. That's their mind, and this is the biggest rebellion that the earth has ever seen. That's why you got that, the Hebrew word, I think, Mara Yatham, okay, which is another name for Babylon, but it goes into double rebellion, which is speaking of America, all right, because this is a major rebellion that these devils, okay, are trying to establish in the earth, man. This is a major defiance against Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right. And you simple as Israelites, like I said, they think you got some type of victory with Trump. You're still part of this major defiance against Yahweh Bashim Shai. Verse 15, what is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Okay. This is their mindset. These is how these devils think. These devils at the top, this is how they think. This is how they run the earth. This is what they push. How you think there's just so much blatant disrespect to the Most High and no fear? Because it's pushed from the top. Okay, but people fear him. When he has a breaking news alert, okay, when he starts to give instructions, people fear him. People begin to adjust. People start to move with urgency when he speaks. Okay, but at Yahweh Bashim Shai, you see there's no urgency in the earth, man. All these camps, all these lessons coming out. Okay, all these videos that go out weekly, daily, all right, hourly. Okay, and then there's no urgency, okay, in the earth, man. You see, but when this devil speaks, he showed before he can shut the world down. Okay, verse 16 says, "Lo, their power is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me." Okay, so the counsel of these devils is far from the righteousness of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Okay, which makes him an enemy, man. Okay, and if you're joined to this devil, if you agree with this devil in any capacity, okay, you're a part of the problem. Okay, verse 17 said, "How oft is the candle of the wicked put out?" Okay, and so the Lord, like, how oft do I got to step to this? How often do I have to address wickedness in the earth? Going back to the flood, okay, Sodom and Gomorrah, the Tower of Babel, okay. You got what they were Pompeii, back in Italy, all right, it was a town of the Roman Empire, and other events. Okay, but how often does the Lord have to address wickedness in the earth for the earth to get it that ain't the way? Okay, and it says, "And how oft cometh their destruction upon them? The Most High distribute sorrows in His angers. They are stole over the wind, and the chaff that the storm carrieth away." Man. Okay, so when the Lord, all right, expresses his anger, you see, people get mad when we bring out, and Esau have I hated. Well, you wait till the Lord show you that he hates Esau. You wait till the Lord shows the earth that he hates this man in his anger, man. All right, this man's kingdom is going to be swept like a broom. Okay, and this man going directly into harsh, okay, rigorous captivity, man. Okay, so let's go from there. So I got a few videos. So what I want to start with is this World Economic Forum. I want to get this too. Okay. Did I get it? So you go here. I know you hear this term movers and shakers. Okay. It said, what does the expression mover and shakers mean? It says a person who is active or influential in some field or endeavor. All right. And the real movers and shakers be these small hats, along with these Teamanite, think tanks that are really the movers and shakers behind the scenes that influence, all right, the earth and the direction the earth is going. Okay, what's taught in the school, what's put in the foods, okay, what's what's glorified as culture, okay, who's the bad guy, who's the good guy, what should be hated, what should be liked. Okay, you have these movers and shakers behind the scene. Okay, so let's go here because you hear this term also, power broker. All right, you might hear this term power broker. Okay, all right, power broker. So you hear this as a power broker. It says a person who deliberately affects the distribution of political or economic power by exerting influence or by intrigue. Okay, so you have these different, characters, all right, that are in the background, making moves. Like Henry Kissinger was a power broker. George Soros is a power broker. Okay, this guy we finna get into, Klaus Schwab, he will be known as a power broker. Okay, he's able to, get different governments together. Okay, give them a vision, of how they should move forward, set things in order, call certain, peace deals and, certain political alliances, they can mediate. All right, that's what you call a power broker. Okay, so we're gonna get into this guy Klaus Schwab. All right, this is kind of like a documentary on the devil. Okay, and how the World Economic, all right, the World Economic Forum became a thing. Okay, so we're gonna go into this. All right, and then we got 2 more videos, and we'll go from there. So you go into this devil, which he's from Germany, and it's a lot of Amalek that come from Germany, because even the Rothschild family, Meyer Amschel Rothschild, he started off in Germany. Their Rothschild banking cartel started in Germany, because you had a what they call the Ish people population in Germany. Okay, so Germany and Teeman, so they have those, let's say, those wise men and Teeman. Okay, and those goddamn satanic Amalek. Okay, crafty Amalek. Okay, they run neck and neck. They run hand in hand. Okay, so this guy Klaus Schwab, all right, he could be a Teemanite. But we know that guy Henry Kissinger, he was a small hat. All right, so let's let this play, and brothers add precepts as you see fit, and we'll go from there. Trying to see that I want something. Okay. Yep. That's a good one. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, brothers put. Okay, yeah, we'll get them. All right, so let's just play.
It's an exclusive club like no other, a fortress of power nestled in the Swiss Alps. For over 50 years, this World Economic Forum has quietly shaped the future of the world.
The World Economic Forum is considered to have significant influence. At the same time, it attracts considerable criticism.
A former judge and member of the European Parliament describes the WEF as the world's most dangerous international association.
At the center of it all is one man, Klaus Schwab. It's the year of 1938. In Germany, the air is thick with both hope and fear as the country undergoes a rapid transformation under Adolf Hitler's regime. 5 years into Hitler's rule, his vision for the Third Reich is in full force. Berlin buzzes with the clamor of Nazi rallies. Economically, Germany roars back, with the scars of the Great Depression fading as factories hum and unemployment dips, all driven by heavy militarization. Day and night, factories churn out weapons for what is becoming an open secret. War. Ravensburg, a town nestled in the rolling hills of southern Germany, remains a quiet haven amid the escalating tensions of the Third Reich. In this tranquil setting, Klaus Martin Schwab is born. His father, Eugen Wilhelm Schwab, moves from Switzerland to Germany in search of better career opportunities. He becomes the director of Escher Wyss AG, an industrial powerhouse collaborating with the Nazi regime.
During the late 1930s and throughout World War II, Escher Wyss AG, a Swiss engineering firm, played a pivotal role in supporting Germany's military endeavors.
The company specialized in producing flamethrowers, a weapon extensively utilized by the German military during the war. Operating from its factories in Ravensburg, Germany, Escher Wyss became integral to the Nazi war machine.
The company's machinery and innovations play a vital role in Germany's ambitions, powering an industrial engine with a darker purpose. As a young man, Klaus Schwab listens closely to his father's words. Eugen Schwab is an influential figure in Germany's industrial landscape. He makes his expectations clear. Klaus must pursue engineering. Feeling the weight of his father's expectations, Klaus takes the path laid before him. He dedicates himself to mechanical engineering. When World War II begins to deteriorate, his parents send him back to Switzerland for further schooling. There, Klaus finds solace in Switzerland's peace and education system, but beneath the surface, a different passion brewed. Under his father's pressure, Klaus excels in his studies, earning a degree and later a PhD from the prestigious Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich. But deep down, he knows his true calling lies in economics and politics.
He realized that if he could understand mechanical systems, he could also be able to comprehend the broader social, political, and economic systems.
Fueled by this vision, Klaus sets his sights on the world's finest institution, Harvard, convinced it is the place where he could understand the world's systems, but also learn how to shape and influence them. And there, Klaus finds a mentor who has mastered the art of global influence.
By the time Klaus Schwab arrived at Harvard in the mid-1960s, Henry Kissinger was already a formidable figure in academia and beyond.
So as he went over that double, all right, Henry Kissinger yesterday. All right. So this man, Klaus Schwab, okay, was a understudy, okay, with the devil Henry Kissinger. Okay. So as as we go into these things, you're going to see, paths cross, okay, or these movers or shakers in the background. All right. So this devil, was reared up, okay, for, to be at the forefront, of, all right, what they call the fourth industrial revolution. All right. These things are decades and decades in the making. Okay. This is all the way back in the 60s, man. Okay.
Born in 1923 in Fürth, Germany, Kissinger fled to the United States with his family in 1938 to escape Nazi persecution. He grew up in New York, where he embraced the American dream with an intense drive, quickly rising as a brilliant student. After serving in the U.S. Army during World War II, Kissinger attended Harvard, where he earned a bachelor's, master's, and eventually a PhD in political science. His dissertation, A World Restored, analyzed the balance of power in 19th century Europe, laying the foundation for his lifelong obsession with realpolitik. By the early 1960s, Kissinger was a respected Harvard professor known for his sharp intellect and decisive approach to international relations.
His lectures were legendary, drawing students eager to grasp his pragmatic insights on power and geopolitics. He had already begun to establish himself as a consultant to various government officials, honing his theories on diplomacy and strategy.
To understand Klaus Schwab and the eventual World Economic Forum, it all stems from the core ideas of Henry Kissinger.
During his time as a professor at Harvard, Henry Kissinger's main ideas revolve around realpolitik, a practical and strategic approach to international relations that emphasizes power dynamics over ideology or moral considerations. He believes that global stability can only be achieved through a balance of power among nations, not by pursuing idealistic or moral goals.
Kissinger focused on the need for leaders to understand.
And when they say not pursuing idealistic, all right, or moral goals, that's removing the Most High. Okay, and I think a brother was posting it, but a brother can keep posting in Psalms chapter 2, verses 1 through 4. All right, but going back, this man wants a godless society. So he said that the world should be ran based on the balance of power. All right, and you see the two flags, all right, that you've seen with Russia and America on that scale. All right, because the earth revolves around the balance of power, okay, of Russia and America. Okay, that's why you see, you know, with these nations, either you're with the America in the West or you're side with Russia. You go into the BRICS. Okay, those are nations that side, you know, with Russia. Okay, you go into the Shanghai Corporation, those nations are siding with Russia. Okay, but then you have this beast system, NATO, EU, and America, all right, which is the other balance of power. Okay, and they think that's how the earth should be ran, all right, by practical power between the nations and not based off ideas, all right, and morals, which is that mainly they're speaking of the scriptures. Okay, these devils want to do away, all right, with the scriptures, man. Okay, and Bob Kashab, bro, if you can post that Psalms 2 and 3 in the NLT, you know, so we'll get this the brother Boyan Yasha, you know, so these devils, you know, have been in the back, you know, formulating, you know, how this new world is going to run. Okay, and we're at the point now to where now they're introducing you to those ideas, all right, and enforcing them and infusing them into society. Okay, Psalms 2 and 1, it says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Okay, and this is what we're seeing, the heathen rage. All right, the Hebrew word ragash, and one of those words for rage is conspire. Okay, and there's two or more plotting to do evil. Okay, and this is what all right, this is what they do in these wicked councils, man. All right, this is Brother Bon Yashala, Psalms 2 and 2. It says, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai and against his anointed, saying, and this is their main talking points in these councils. Okay, and us being awakened to who we are is a problem with their NWO, because everything we stand for is against, okay, what they want to do. Okay, just like you go back to Nero, you know, you go back to the peace sign, which is a cross upside down with, you know, the broken wood, okay, which make that peace sign. And Nero's theory was, you know, once we get rid of all the Christians, which back then those were the true followers of Yahushua, those Israelites, okay, they had converted, all right, from Greco-Roman culture, all right, to following Yahushua in righteousness, okay, and that was, you know, they stood against, okay, pagan Rome, all right, and when the same thing again, all right, with the same Caesar, okay, that's in office, man, Nero Trump, okay. Verse 3, it says, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. All right. And I think the brother get it. Yep. The water, bro. The brother got an NLT. Psalms 2 and 3 said, let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from slavery to the Most High. Okay, and this is what these devils have been doing in the background. That's why, they push, these agendas of alphabet rights and all these different things. Is a way to separate the masses. They push, these enchantments. They push violence. They push, degenerate culture. All right, to separate people from a higher power. They destroy the morals. They destroy the family structure. They redefine what family is. What a woman is. What a man is. They do all. They cause all this confusion. Okay, because in their mind, they're freeing the whole thing of liberty and freedom. It's freedom from Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, freedom from righteousness. This is what their rallying cry is. Okay, and women, thought they was, getting the win, and the street culture men thought they was getting the win. This, you see, all these different degenerate cultures. That's this party and BS culture. Everyone was thinking they was getting the win, but everyone was being degenerated, man, to be a godless society. So verse 4 says, he that sitteth in the heavens, the Most High, shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. All right. And right now we see these devils scrambling. Why? Because his word is on the scene. See, now they have some resistance. They ain't been able to, make progress with no resistance for a long time. Okay. The Black Panthers wasn't the resistance. The civil rights, that was a COINTELPRO. Okay. That became a tool, okay, to degenerate Jake. When you go into it, the brother Eliashua Woma did a 2-part series. If you is a good watch. Going into, how civil rights, was pretty much, a covert, communist, all right, system that was implemented on Jake. All right, a communist Marxist system that was implemented on Jake. All right, so the beloved elder brother went into it. As they did a 2-part series, and you can go into it and be edified. All right, so let's go back to these devils. And fair use. This is, I'm not making any monetary gains, not any profits. Just for educational purposes, only fair use.
And the motives, intentions, and potential moves of other states operating in a world where each nation acts to maximize its power and security.
His approach reflects the basics of game theory, understanding what others might do, adjusting strategies when situation changes, and seeking equilibrium where stability can be maintained.
With his prestigious educational background, Klaus Schwab lands a lucrative career as the director of Sulzer Escher Weiss AG in Zurich, serving on the managing board. It is a Swiss engineering firm where his father was a senior member. His role is pivotal and challenging, as he is tasked with restructuring the company during a critical period in the late 1960s.
So all these changes in the world, internally and externally, are leading organizations toward the need to restructure every so often. So we have to be constantly thinking about how can we restructure our business to give us the organizational capabilities and the scale we need to be able to grow.
His work was very much like management consulting, helping companies improving operations, raising revenue and cutting costs. But along the way, he realized the importance of putting his philosophy into action, the so-called stakeholder approach.
As he streamlines operations and modernizes management practices, Schwab realizes that the stakeholder approach to capitalism may be the way of the future. This idea of stakeholder capitalism was further enriched by his time at Harvard, and now it becomes Schwab's guiding principle. Inspired and emboldened by his experiences, Schwab envisions something radical. A platform where corporate leaders can collaborate to reshape capitalism itself. He calls it the European Management Forum, a bold new gathering aimed at redefining business priorities on a global scale. But there is a daunting problem. He has no guarantee anyone will come. In the early 1970s, Davos is a serene and relatively isolated mountain town nestled in the Swiss Alps, primarily known as a health resort and a hub for winter sports. To Schwab's surprise, over 400 participants show up for the gathering, mainly from European countries and US universities.
These days, business clubs like this are everywhere, but in the early 1970s, they were almost unheard of. The idea of getting business leaders, government officials, and academics together to share ideas, solve big problems, and find common ground was something entirely new.
So now we start to see governments and corporations, come together, certain academics. And see these schools, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, these certain, Ivy League schools, okay, these are nothing but breeding grounds, all right, for the new leaders of the world. That's why they go through, why Jake, Black Boule, those HBCUs are breeding grounds for, the Black Boule, all right, the niggas that's going to be the gatekeepers, all right, for Esau. And you go to these Ivy schools, and these are the Edomites that's being bred, okay, to be, all right, these world leaders. Okay, these think tanks, these politicians, these different engineers, okay, these different economics, economicists, okay, scientists and different things. Okay. So now we're seeing, these minds come together. This picture here, okay, is as the brother posted, where is it? Yep. This is what we're seeing. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? All right, this is what they're doing. Imagining vanity, okay, of what they're going to accomplish, their enterprise. Okay, so now we're starting to see these devils really, come together on the global scale. All right, the digital Tower of Babel is in the talks. All right, as Eliashua Wamba goes into. So let's play this some more.
Before Davos, most business conferences were industry specific and mainly focused on technical topics or specific sectors. The idea of creating a broader dialogue that included public and private sectors, academia, and other stakeholders was unconventional.
It was surprising that Klaus Schwab, a relatively young and lesser-known figure at the time, managed to gather over 400 participants for the first Davos meeting in 1971. Schwab's sudden rise had all the makings of a mystery. A man with no notable title, a forum with no track record, and yet here they all were.
The inaugural meeting of Klaus Schwab's European Management Forum in 1971 is, against all odds, a resounding success. This exclusive club, the first of its kind, allows members to network, collaborate on solutions, and strike deals. But as the first gathering comes to a close, a storm is brewing, one that none of them can predict.
Probably one of the biggest questions that we get from our customers was, well, how do you really go about buying gold? One option that people have.
And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world. Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators.
In the summer of 1971, President Nixon abruptly takes the U.S. off the gold standard, plunging the world economy into chaos. As a result, attendance at the second year of the forum drops by half. If the trend continues, Klaus Schwab's brilliant idea of transforming global capitalism will die before it takes off. He knows. To draw more prominent figures to his club, he needs someone with a strong reputation. Over the coming years, he begins leveraging prominent international figures to attract more attendance. For example, by 1974, Dom Helder Camara, a Brazilian archbishop known for championing the poor, attends the forum. Within just a few years, the forum grows both in size and popularity, with members contributing significant funds to the organization. Klaus Schwab's forum now becomes an exclusive club of a growing number of world elites. But no one can anticipate what happens next, just a year later. The 1970s are a period of significant political unrest in West Germany, marked by social movements, student protests, and growing disillusionment with capitalism, consumer culture, and the West German government, criticized by some for still being tainted by Nazi-era figures. Radical left-wing groups like the Red Army faction emerge from this volatile environment. The RAF seeks to overthrow what it sees as an oppressive state and capitalist system. Influenced by Marxism, Leninism, and anti-imperialist ideals, the group embraces violence as a means to spark revolution.
Thousands of policemen combed streets, parks, and parking lots for an hour today, seeking cars loaded with explosives that anarchists had threatened to set off between 1 and 2 p.m.
Hans Martin Schleyer is a prominent West German businessman and a key figure in the post-war economic recovery. He was a former SS officer during the Nazi era, which made him a symbol of the continuity of Nazi elites in post-war West Germany. He is an advocate for pro-business policies, labor reforms, and a defender of West Germany's capitalist system. Exactly the kind of establishment figure the RAF despises. It is September 5th, 1977, a day that will change West Germany forever. Hans Martin Schleyer is driving home in Cologne when a Red Army faction commando team strikes. Blocking his car with a pram, gunmen unleash a hail of bullets, killing Schleyer's driver, bodyguard, and 2 police officers. Schleyer is forced into a getaway car and whisked away to an undisclosed location. The RAF demanded the release of 11 imprisoned members, including Andreas Baader and Gudrun Ensign. It is the beginning of what becomes known as the German Autumn, a season of terror marked by violence, including the hijacking of Lufthansa Flight 181. For over a month, Schleyer remains captive. Then, on October 18th, RAF leaders in Stammheim prison are found dead, allegedly by suicide. The following day, the RAF delivers its own grim message. Schleyer's body is discovered in the trunk of a car in Mulhouse, France, a tragic end to a harrowing saga. In their final communiqué, the RAF declares that Schleyer's execution is retaliation for the government's refusal to negotiate and the deaths of their comrades in prison.
Hans Martin Schleyer, the West German industrialist, was killed 36 hours before his body was found yesterday in the trunk of a car in the Alsatian city of Mulhouse, according to an official announcement made there tonight.
And what these devils do, because we have to understand, these devils be at odds, these certain politicians, these billionaires, these oligarchs, these rich families, they be at odds. And they come up, with, these rebel groups, as if it's a authentic, rebellion. And they use it to do their dirty work, and they can do it under the banner of Leninism, Marxism, all right. And Esau, he has all these different, brands, government, communists, and he's able to use it as a tool, all right, to get, from point A to point B, like I say, they used it, with Jake, Marxism to create, the dynamic of, the elite of Jake that Boule, and third world Jake in the ghetto. Okay. They use it, to start uproars against certain governments and politicians that they want to overthrow. Okay. So this devil use these certain, all right, government styles and systems and ideologies, as a banner, to do wickedness, and be able to blame it on the common people, So this is nothing new, okay, what the devil is doing. All right. But it's going to go into, how Klaus Schwab, was able to submit himself as a power broker, and establish, the Davos, as the meeting place, all right, for world leaders. All right.
Schleier's death shocks the nation, prompting a massive crackdown on terrorism. For Klaus Schwab, the death of Schleier is a devastating blow to his cause. As a member of the Davos Club, Schleier's assassination casts a shadow over the group. With the club's ranks filled with prominent figures like Schleier, it becomes an easy focus for terrorist groups. To make sure the meeting in 1978 goes smoothly, Klaus Schwab invests a considerable amount of money in heightened security measures, transforming what was once a casual gathering into a heavily guarded event in a fortress-like setting.
This transformation would likely have fueled the perception of Davos as an exclusive and elitist enclave, a haven for the wealthy and the powerful seeking protection behind barriers and armed guards.
But it doesn't stop the forum's growing popularity. By the end of the 1970s, the Davos Forum evolves from a European management meeting into a global platform for dialogue on business and politics. But for Klaus Schwab, it is not nearly enough. He knows the forum cannot remain merely a stage for lofty conversations. It must become a force of real influence, one capable of shaping global agendas and altering the course of history. And somewhere on the global stage, tensions are reaching a breaking point. A geopolitical crisis is about to erupt, and it could be his moment to seize.
Prime Minister Bülent Ulusu accused Greece today of trying to establish fate's accomplice in the Aegean region and warned that Turkey will not hesitate to equally retaliate.
In the early 1980s, the blue waters of the Aegean Sea become the stage for a tense standoff between two ancient rivals, Greece and Turkey. Scattered with islands and rich in history, this stretch of sea has always been contested, but now it lies at the heart of a dispute with far greater stakes.
The animosity between Greece and Turkey stretches back centuries, particularly due to the Ottoman Empire's rule over Greece from the 15th century until Greece's independence in 1829, and the Greco-Turkish War from 1919 to 1922.
Greece seeks to extend its territorial waters from 6 nautical miles to 12, a move that would grant Athens greater control over the Aegean. To Turkey, this is not just a political maneuver. It is a direct threat to their access to vital shipping lanes and resources. They issue a stern warning. Should Greece proceed, it will be considered a cause for war. By 1982, tensions reach a boiling point. Both nations prepare for a potential flashpoint, with military maneuvers escalating and aggressive rhetoric filling the air. NATO, concerned about the growing danger between two of its key members, steps in to prevent the region from spiraling into open conflict. But the simmering tension never truly disappears. In March 1987, the conflict comes dangerously close to war. Turkey announces its intention to send the seismic survey vessel into the disputed waters of the Aegean to search for oil. Greece views this as a direct violation of their rights and vows to block Turkey's actions by all means necessary. As Klaus Schwab watches the rising tensions between Turkey and Greece, he senses more than just another geopolitical crisis. The growing popularity of his Davos Club has made it a coveted platform for discussion, but Schwab's ambitions stretch far beyond mere conversation. He craves impact. the kind that reshapes world events and redefines the forum's role in global affairs. This conflict is more than a regional standoff. It is Schwab's opportunity. If he can bring both sides to the negotiating table and broker peace, the Davos Club will no longer be just a meeting place for the powerful. It will become a force for real change. Schwab sees it clearly. A breakthrough in Davos could elevate his organization to unprecedented heights and solidify his status as a true global influencer.
Was it really God's wish to kill Abraham's elder son? Why Isaac needed to be punished by God?
As the summit approaches, Klaus Schwab moves quietly but decisively behind the scenes. He reaches out to key players, trusted diplomats, seasoned advisors, and influential business leaders with close ties to both Athens and Ankara.
Schwab knew that direct talks could be very volatile. Instead, he initiated back-channel communications, probing for potential compromises from both parties, where public pressure couldn't interfere.
But Schwab's vision extends beyond closed doors. He meticulously crafts the Davos agenda to resonate with both sides. The real work begins in private meetings, where Greek and Turkish officials speak freely, away from the glare of cameras. Schwab remains ever present. His role is to ensure both sides feel respected, building trust where there had been none. By the end of the summit, the efforts bear fruit. Turkey and Greece reach a tentative agreement. It includes commitments to maintain current territorial waters, establish joint resource exploration zones in disputed areas, and reduce military patrols in the Aegean.
After meeting in this alpine ski resort, the prime ministers of Greece and Turkey announced what they said was an important agreement today to help bring peace and cooperation to their traditionally hostile countries.
By orchestrating this landmark agreement, Schwab solidified Davos as the center of international influence and his own reputation as a shrewd, behind-the-scenes power broker. It was the very moment he had been waiting for, the opportunity to make Davos synonymous not just with dialogue, but with action and impact.
In the early 1980s, Schwab officially renames the organization the World Economic Forum, signaling its global ambitions. But
yeah, so that's the birth, the World Economic Forum. Klaus Schwab was able to establish himself as a power broker, between two nations. So now he's actively, changing the course, of governments. He has enough sway, all right, and he has enough influence now, to where he can bring heads of governments together, and hammer out certain deals, and we have to understand where this is going, all right, because it ain't about just the Aegean Sea, and resources and certain. No, this is about complete control of governments, and steering, pretty much being in the driver's seat, of global society. So this is the beginning of that. All right, that was in the 80s, where the World Economic Forum, was pretty much birthed, after he made that power move. Now, I want to go here too, and then we got a couple more videos kind of get up to speed where the WEF is at now and the role that they play, currently. Now, I want to go here dealing with Davos, because when you go to Davos, when you go into the word Davos, it goes into David. All right, because these devils, they want the blessing of the house of David, which is global rulership forever. All right. Now, when you go into, all right, it says, is Davos the highest village in Europe? It says, a place where adventure reaches new heights, located in the eastern Swiss canton, all right, of Graubünden. All right, Davos is Europe's highest town and Switzerland's largest mountain resort. Okay, so this is a high place for these devils. Okay, and you go into the scriptures just to go into high places and what they represent. Okay, because they can be good or evil. All right, but you go into the scriptures. Now you have this in the time of King Solomon. Okay, this is First Kings 3 and 1. It says, I started at 3. All right, it says, and Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of David his father. Only he sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. Okay, and the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for there was the great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon, all right, offer upon the altar. And this was before the temple was built. Okay, you know, verse 2, well, I should have read verse 2. It says, only the people sacrificed in high places, because there was no house built unto the name of the Lord until those days. You know, because even the temple was built in the mountain. All right, Mount Moriah. All right, the same place where Abraham was going to sacrifice, you know, Isaac. Okay, so these high places, all right, are spiritual. All right, and the problem is they can be on the left hand or the right, because we know King Solomon was sacrificing unto the Lord. But you go down, all right, in history, this is after, you know, this generation's after Solomon. Okay, what was going on certain high places? Okay, this is 2 Kings 12 and 1. In the 7th year of Jehu, Joash began to reign, and 40 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Zibiah of Beersheba. And Jehoash, all right, did that which was right in the sight of the Lord all the days wherein Jehoiada the priest, all right, instructed him. But the high places were not taken away, and people still sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. And by this time, it was in paganism. Okay, you had Jake doing, you know, making a pagan sacrifice on these high places, man. So you can best believe at Davos, it go down at that high place. Okay, I say that the highest, you know, peak, you know, in Europe. Okay, I think there was one more. I think it was in Psalms. They go into. I think it was Psalm 78. Let me see. All right, this is Psalm 78. Yeah, this is Psalm 78, and I started. All right, 55. It's Psalm 78 and 55. It says, he cast out the heathen also before them, and divided them an inheritance by line, and made the tribes of Israel dwell in their tents. All right, casting those Canaanites, you know, out of the land. Okay, and Jake then destroyed, you know, all those Canaanites. And what Jake did, you know, they got influenced by what those Canaanites were doing. You know, they was using the high places in wickedness. Okay, yet they tempted and provoked the Most High power, and kept not his testimonies, but turned back and dealt, all right, unfaithfully like their fathers. They were turned aside like a deceitful bow, for they provoked him to anger with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. Okay, so Jake, you know, mimicking, all right, those heathen and doing wickedness in those high places, man. Okay, so this is you know, in Davos, there's just a high place, okay, of wickedness. All right, you best believe there's sacrifice of all kind. Okay, all the XCX trafficking, and best you believe that during Davos time, it's a lot of madness that's going on in those high places, man. A lot of people getting deleted, okay, as they sacrifice to Satan for their agenda, man. Okay, so let's segue. I got another video, kind of go into what Davos is on today, you know, and these, you know, World Economic Forum, you know, WHO, World Health Organization, they operate as NGOs, non-government organizations, and what they're able to do, they're able to bypass the laws that restrict governments, to do certain things. Okay, because the Constitution is a restriction, to the government. It can't really do what it wants to do under those codes, okay, of the Constitution, which they jump to loopholes, okay. They're pretty much doing what they want, all right, and these NGOs, are able to come in and enforce certain rules, that the government is restricted to do. Okay, and that's one of the main loopholes, all right, that we're going to see as they begin to get draconian, all right, is these NGOs, man. Okay, non-government organizations. So let's let's go here to let's see, and I put the link if you want to watch the rest of the video, just kind of builds up. All right, but let's play this one.
Meet Klaus Schwab, head of one of the world's most powerful and influential NGOs. How much say does he have over your country? Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. So the whole idea of a democracy is that the people have the power. Politicians are beholden to the voters. The reality can be a little different. There are a lot of different kinds of groups and organizations that can influence politics, but NGOs, non-governmental organizations, might be the most mysterious. They're not governments, they're not businesses. Some of them are charities, some of them aren't. They can be small little things or massive and widely influential. But in general, NGOs are private organizations that are privately funded and privately run with about as much transparency as a brick. I mean, would you trust this guy? This is Klaus Schwab, head of the World Economic Forum. It's one of the more influential and controversial NGOs. You might know the World Economic Forum as the organization responsible for the annual Davos Agenda Summit in Davos, Switzerland, where thousands of prominent business leaders, politicians, activists, and others meet to discuss how they can shape the future of the world. For example, the initiative they call the Great Reset. Here's a little video about it.
The current global crisis has disrupted every aspect of our lives, but it has also presented us with an extraordinary opportunity, a chance to reset and accelerate efforts to improve the state of our world.
Improve the state of our world? That sounds good to me. But how?
In order to secure our future and to prosper, we need to evolve our economic model, putting people and planet at the heart of global value creation.
Putting people and planet first. Awesome. But what was that about evolving our economic model? Here's how they explain it. You'll own nothing and be happy. So who would own everything in this scenario? Oh, so it'll be owned by Amazon. Got it. Did this mean we're just going to rent everything from Amazon instead of buying everything from Amazon? But the World Economic Forum is so much more than just the Davos Summit or the Great Reset. Mr. Star Wars cosplayer here also talks about how the World Economic Forum works with the best and the brightest to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. I really can't imagine why there are so many conspiracy theories about them. One of the ways the World Economic Forum shapes global agendas is through the Forum of Young Global Leaders. It's an educational organization that has some very notable alumni. I'll tell you who after the break. Welcome back. So one of the World Economic Forum's biggest goals is the Great Reset, a world where we own nothing and are happy. But the World Economic Forum is just an NGO. How can it guide individual countries to make these radical changes? One of the ways is through the Forum of Young Global Leaders, a sort of internship program to prepare the leaders of tomorrow. It was founded by Klaus Schwab in 2004. According to their website, its goal is to mold young leaders into people who will shape a more inclusive and sustainable future. Each year, a cohort of up-and-coming leaders between 28 and 38 years old are selected to spend 5 years in the program. The program has a large number of noteworthy alumni, including Governor of California Gavin Newsom, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, former U.S. Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, and author and anti-racism activist Ibram X. Kendi. You've probably heard of them. And the
So yeah, you see, all right, the role, all right, World Economic Forum, how their role has evolved, you know, to being at the forefront of a great reset, all right, and you best believe, okay, that during the pandemic, you know, before that thing played out, that they had conversation of this at Davos, okay, of what, you know, would be going on, what would be happening. Okay, this is why you see these nations, they operate in lockstep. When it came to the juice, when it came to the mash, they was all on one accord. Okay, so now you see the World Economic Forum, and it got certain plants, you know, like Gavin Newsom in California, all right, Mark Zuckerberg, you know, certain tech guys, okay, that they have, you know, planted, okay, throughout society, pushing this agenda of great reset. Okay, now, as of late, Klaus Schwab, I think like 8 months ago, because I got another video, this from about 8 months ago. Now, this guy, Noah, Yuval Harari, now this guy is supposed to be taking over, all right, the World Economic Forum. You know, Klaus Schwab has been, you know, you know, getting him ready, okay, to take his place at the forum. Let me see. Yep. So this guy here, all right, this is about an 8-minute video, so we'll watch it. And there's some more videos I want to watch on this devil. Okay, but this guy here, not the guy on the screen, but the guy he's going to talk about, he's going to show him. But he's, you know, being groomed, you know, to be the head of the World Economic Forum. And just listen to the mindset of this devil. All right, listen how these devils think. All right, complete degenerate, completely godless. Okay, and these are the people. These are the movers and shakers in the background. Okay, of this new world order. Okay, that the devil wants to establish, man. Okay, so let's play this. You know, just listen how these devils think, man.
So recently, Klaus Schwab announced that he's going to be stepping out from the World Economic Forum January of 2025, and there's a leading candidate that may replace him, whose books have sold 45 million copies in 65 different languages. His name is Yuval Harari. He's been called the brain of Klaus Schwab. His books have been recommended by Bill Gates, Obama, and many others. This is a guy that's known by many of the world leaders, prime ministers. He wrote a book called Sapiens, sold over 21 million copies. Homo Deus sold over 9 million copies. 21 Lessons for the 21st Century sold over 5 million copies. He's someone you ought to know, because what we learned in the last few years is the amount of power Klaus Schwab has with Davos. If this guy takes over, we have to find out why this gay man born in Israel in 1976 who received a PhD in history from the University of Oxford in 2002, he could potentially have that much power. We're going to talk about him today. So let's go through him. Very unique guy. Definitely different than everybody else. He's been openly gay and married to his husband, Itzik Yahav, in Toronto, 2010. They co-founded Sapienship, a social impact company. He practices Vipassana meditation since 2000, which, by the way, I may have butchered the way you pronounce it, but he meditates 2 hours on a daily basis, a vegan. His position on technology, as of 2023, he owns a smartphone only for emergencies and travel. Few things about him: public speaking, delivered keynote speeches at World Economic Forum at Davos, gave him $1 million during pandemic for donation, he and his husband. He's criticized Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, particularly opposing judicial reform plans. He's done a bunch of different things. So he did an interview with The Guardian, a Q&A format. I want to go through a couple of them that I think it's important to cover. What is your greatest fear? That we will destroy our possible. Tell us a secret. The people who run the world don't understand it. He's around the people who run the world. So he's saying the people who he's around don't understand how the world runs. Interesting. In another interview, he's asked what comes after, meaning what comes after life. He says, I'm not sure. I haven't managed to go much beyond what was in Homo Deus, in which Harari discussed the emerging religion of dataism. Dataism declares that the universe consists of data flows, and value of any phenomenon or entity is determined by its contribution to data processing. He's talked about the
So you got a new religion called dataism. You know, dataism, man. What the hell is the devil on? All right, and in their mind, these devils think the Most High has to fit within their data. Okay, these men are absolutely crazy, man. Okay, the men at the very top, you know, and he's still at the lower tier, you know, of the top. All right, guys like this. All right, but this is how a lot of these men think, or worse. Okay, dataism. You see, they think that they can quantify everything. All right, if it don't fit in their science, they believe they can just throw it out. The Bible has the answer to his science. Okay, their science doesn't have the answer to the Bible. The Bible has the answer to their science, man. Okay, this is the way these devils think. Okay, and this is what you niggas are aligning yourself with nowadays, man. Okay.
Rise of the useless class, us. Harari discusses the impact of AI on a workforce, suggesting that AI and automation will render many jobs obsolete. He's not alone there. Other people believe it as well. He introduces the concept of a useless class, referring to a large segment of the population that could become unemployed due to technological advancement. He emphasized the need to develop new economic, social, and educational systems to support those affected by these changes as traditional job structures are transformed. We got to learn a little bit about his father and the relationship, which is kind of a little bit gray. We don't know much about it. From the age of 8, Harari attended a school for bright students 2 bus rides away from his family's house in Kiryat Ata. Yuval's father, who died in 2010, was born on a kibbutz and maintained a lifelong skepticism about socialism. His work as a state-employed armaments engineer was classified by the standards of the town. The Harari household was bourgeoisie and bookish. They were rich. They were known as having money and being successful. He built out of wood blocks and Formica tiles a huge map of Europe on which he played war games of his own invention. Harari told this individual that interviewed him that during his adolescence, against the backdrop of his first infidel, he went through a period when he was a kind of a stereotypical right-wing nationalist. He recalled his mindset: Israel as a nation is the most important thing in the world. And obviously we are right about everything, and the whole world doesn't understand us and hates us. So we have to be strong and defend ourselves. He laughed, you know, the usual stuff. This next part's a little bit interesting, so brace for impact. One reason he chose to study outside of Israel was to start a new life as a gay man. On weekends, he went to London nightclubs. I think I tried, he says this, ecstasy a few times, and he made dates online. And he set himself to target having sex with at least one new partner a week. Very aggressive, competitive, to make up for lost time and also understand how it works. Because I was very shy, he laughed. Very strong discipline. He treated each encounter as a credit and a ledger. So if one week I had 2 and next week there were 0, I'm okay. Like an accountant, CPA. Very interesting. He says here, within the next century or 2, we humans are likely to upgrade ourselves into gods. You could be a god and change the most basic principles of the evolution of life. He says, I titled the book Homo Deus because we really are becoming gods in the most literal sense possible.
You want to hang out all day and do whatever you want? Well, I'll let you do whatever you want for 23 hours a day. If you just put in the first hour of your day to learning a skill that can make you money online, I promise you, you can spend the rest of your time doing whatever you want, hanging off of ledges, playing video games, traveling the world. Whatever that makes you happy, you can do that. But for the first hour,
possible, we are acquiring abilities that have always been thought to be divine abilities, in particular the ability to create life, and we can do with that whatever we want The main products of the future economy will not be food, textiles, and vehicles, but rather
the big product of the 21st century are going to be bodies and minds.
So where's it going with this? I mean, here's what it says. Harari's vision for the future: dictatorship. One of the dangers of 21st century is that machine learning and artificial intelligence will make centralized systems much more efficient than distributed systems, and dictatorships might become more efficient than democracies.
The revolution in information technology will make dictatorships more efficient than democracies.
Dictatorships might become more efficient than democracies. Do you want a dictatorship? He's saying it may be more efficient. If you don't want him, this guy may be the leader of the World Economic Forum. This is what he's going to be talking about when he's selling books. They sell. When he writes books, tens of millions of copies get sold. You need to kind of know what these guys have in mind for vision for you. I mean, listen, if you're inspired already, stick around. You're going to be motivated even more. Here's one for you. I strongly believe that given the technologies we are now developing, within a century or two, at most, our species, you, will disappear. You're going to disappear. I don't think that in the end of the 22nd century, the earth will still be dominated by Homo sapiens. Here's why he thinks there's a big challenge with the useless class based on how he sees it. Watch this. The useless class possesses a threat to community peace primarily because they will lack both a means of income. How are you going to make money? Everything's being done better than you in AI. And a sense of purpose. If you're not making money, you're not doing a job. What is the purpose of life? Why do I exist? What can I do? All the other machines are doing a better job than me. That's kind of what he's talking about. The emergence of two distinct classes, these employed in the AI-driven roles and unemployed, the useless class, will exacerbate social inequalities and could lead to discontent and unrest. Even if governments provide financial support to the unemployed, the psychological effects of lacking purpose need consideration, such as how to address their potential boredom and dissatisfaction. Harari highlights a fundamental educational challenge. The uncertainty of future job markets makes it difficult to determine what skills should be taught in schools today. It's actually a good point. What should we be teaching in schools today? While AI revolution might create new jobs, these are likely to be high-skilled positions, leaving those previously in lower-skilled jobs unable to transition easily. Drugs and computer games. You ready for this? The biggest question: what to do with all these useless people? Okay.
Now we see the creation of a new massive class of useless people.
The problem is boredom and what to do with them when they are worthless. My best guess is a combination of drugs and computer games. Really? Drugs and computer games. And the whole UBI thing. Remember when Andrew Yang was talking about UBI? Here's what he talks about UBI. UBI involves taxing large corporations and the wealthy to fund regular, unconditional payments to all citizens, aiming to provide a safety net for everyone. So let me tell you how I process this. I process it a couple different ways. One, I'm a man of faith. I think the future looks bright, period. I'm optimistic. I'm team human. I think you and I are wired in a way to consistently look for new solutions and way to rewire ourselves. And he's not for somebody that says, recreate yourself, my ass. That's his line. He doesn't believe you can recreate yourself. If your job as a truck driver is replaced by a machine that can do your job, et cetera, how are you going to go replace yourself is what he's saying. Now, the point is right if you're not proactive way before that comes. So, just like jobs, if right now your kid's about to go to college and
yeah, he's trying to figure it out. All right, and these useless people, they're going to get rid of a lot of useless people. Okay, this man has a heavy depopulation agenda. All right, and they're not just going to have 8 billion people sitting around getting a UBI. Okay, nah, that's not going to be the play. Okay, in their mind, there's going to be very few people left. Okay, outside of their machinery, and this man has the mindset that the Homo sapien, the human, the way that it was created in the beginning, all right, Yahweh Shai and Elohim, that won't exist anymore. It'll be all his technology. You know, he's gonna completely evolve human, all right, to his technology, man. Okay, this is how they think. Okay, this is what these devils is on. Okay, and just to go here, now you see he saw AI making people useless. Okay, now what Trump been pushing since he's been in office, man? AI. Okay, Elon Musk, all in the Oval Office. Okay, you know, just chilling, casual Friday in the Oval Office, chilling. You know, so you see Trump presidency lines up all right, with the agenda of this World Economic Forum and ultimately of the elites, man. Okay, let's go here. This is the Vice President J.D. Vance.
You'll be back. Emus can't help people customize and save at Liberty Mutual.
And I'd ask if you step back a moment and ask yourself, who is most aggressively demanding that we, meaning political leaders gathered here today, do the most aggressive regulation? It is very often the people who already have an incumbent advantage in the market. And when a massive incumbent comes to us asking us for safety regulations, we ought to ask whether that safety regulation is for the benefit of our people or whether it's for the benefit of the incumbent. That the Trump administration will ensure that AI systems developed in America are free from ideological bias and never restrict our citizens' right to free speech. We can trust our people to think, to consume information, to develop their own ideas, and to debate with one another in the open marketplace of ideas. Now, we've also watched as hostile foreign adversaries have weaponized AI software to rewrite history, surveil users, and censor speech. This is hardly new, of course. As they do with other tech, some authoritarian regimes have stolen and used AI to strengthen their military, intelligence, and surveillance capabilities, capture foreign data, and create propaganda to undermine other nations' national security. I want to be clear. This administration will block such efforts, full stop. And I'd ask if you...
Them niggas be lying. Okay, no one is using AI for military purpose more than Esau. No one is using AI to spy more than Esau. Okay, but as you can see, the tone that they're taking is that they're going to go heavy with AI. They're all in with AI. Okay, because that's all right. Where these devils are going, their technology, witchcraft, transhumanism. Okay, the smart city. This is what is being pushed globally. Okay, so it's way bigger than a Trump. All right, he's just a part. All right, of a global agenda. Okay, you see. So let's just get a few precepts. Okay. Let's go here. Let's get that in Ephesians. All right, chapter 6. Okay. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places," man. Okay? Spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, so these devils, all right, these are devils that you don't see. Okay, that's really the movers and shakers and influence of the society, okay, that we live in. Okay, and these devils are tapped in on the left hand side because you go into principality. Let's get that. Okay. It's a very satanic, all right, rulership, and then a leaders group of these Edomites, okay, they are really pulling the strings, okay, places, darkness, world, against spiritual wickedness. Or did I miss it? The rules of this world. Here we go. All right. So you go into the word principalities, which the Greek word arche.
Strong's G 746. Arche.
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 All right. It says beginning origin. It says the person or thing that commences the first person of a thing in a series, the leader. Okay. So while you people are arguing about Trump and Kamala, hey, this goes way above them. They're not the first. They're not the chief or the leader of this global society, man. Okay, and this global society is tapped in on the left-hand side. That's why you keep going. It says, that by which anything begins to be the origin, the active cause. Okay, the first place principality rule, it says, of angels and demons, man. Okay, and we know that the top of the top, all right, these chief, all right, Edomites, okay, these top ranked Edomites, okay, they're constantly in these councils, okay, shaping, the world going forward as we know it. Okay, they're tapped into some heavy demons, to Satan himself, man. Okay, and this is what's running the earth. Okay, and thinking that you can vote your way out of this, or you can invest your way. Niggas still talking about cryptocurrency. If you can, make a little flip, make you extra $500 a month, cool. But this is way beyond it. Okay, you're not gonna invest. All right, these are they stocks. Okay, they can pull the plug when they want. Okay, so we go here. Let's get this in Psalms, and we end it here. All right, I think that's Psalms. Is it 124? All right, this Psalms 124:1. It says, if it had not been for the Lord, Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, who was on our side, now may Israel say, if it had not been for the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. Okay, and these devils, their wrath is kindled, especially against, all right, their remnant. It says in Revelation 12:17, all right, how that dragon, was wroth with the woman. Okay, and the remnant of her seed that kept the commandments. Okay, so this beast system, all right, this new Rome, okay, you best believe in these Davos meetings that they're talking about, all right, the Israelites waking up, the men teaching, they repenting, calling on our power. You best believe, because this is the biggest threat to these devils' enterprise. Okay, is Israelites, all right, getting in order with their power. Okay, so this devil is as he gets closer and closer to bringing this thing in, it's gonna come a time that he's gonna go with his movement. Okay, so then the waters had overwhelmed us, the stream had gone over our soul, then the proud waters had gone over our soul. Blessed be the Lord, Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, who have not given us as a prey to their teeth. It says, our soul is escaped as a bird out of a snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken, and we, all right, are escaped. You see, and the snare is this whole system. All right, because he's setting this digital trap for the masses, man. And one of the things that he has baited people in with is the convenience that his technology offers, man. Okay, the access, the abundance, due to technology. Is one, his sale pitches with his technology that AI is going to offer so much abundance, but it's all the snare. Okay, getting people, used to depending on AI, not being able to function without AI. Okay, it's all a snare, man. But Yahweh Shai is coming to break this whole system. Okay, that's going to be the snare being broken, man, through this third world war. Everything the devil has built up is going to be thrown down. Okay, Malachi 1:4. Okay, verse 8, it says, our help is in the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashim al-Shai, who made heaven and earth. Okay, the creator of all, man. Okay, and then we're going to go to a heavy righteous reset. Okay, not the great reset and wickedness. That's not going to prevail. Okay, but the righteous reset under Yahweh Shai, that's going to be the play. Okay, so that was the point. I pray, that you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified. Until the next time, say shalom. Kwam Yashala, or Bob soon. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kala Allah, Yahweh Bashim al Shai,